Hello, hello, hello. Oh, yesterday at the beach, I found an ear. I found a human ear. Well, not really a human ear, biological ear cut off from someone. But I found a mother. Not a biological human mother. A petrified mother. A mother of pearl, I found. Which is a petrified seashell, about exactly the size and exactly the shape of an ear. And even the earlobe has this purplish pink color on one end, like someone's ear that got really chilly at the beach. Making a video now. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mother of pearl, a seashell that has crystallized, and that used to be a really large one, I think probably this large, and then it got tumbled and really thick and got tumbled in the ocean for millions of years. Finally washed on shore with 20-foot waves that we had recently. We brought this amazing jewelry piece right to my feet. And there it was. I picked it up. A mother of pearl human ear shape. And when I see something like this, I have to pick it up and take it home. It's in the van right now, in the backpack. I'm going to take it to the other house. I'm going to make a video with that. I'll show it. So I have to wash it thoroughly, and I don't know if I don't know if there are cigarette particles on it. So just to make sure to wash all of that off. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mother of pearl. So I usually don't pick up mother of pearl, but when they are this old and petrified and crystallized and containing like other minerals as well, over time, some calcite and stuff, but it definitely still has the mother of pearl mixed in there as well. So little bit iridescent, pearlescent, beautiful, beautiful piece. I'll show you. So this is a true jewel, a gemstone, a present from the blue god, and I'm always infinitely grateful for those for beautiful, beautiful presents that I find at the ocean or anywhere. Okay, we went to Virgin Valley, that's out there in the Antelope Desert, way out there in Nevada, and I found two amazing rocks. They are opals, but they are not the type of opals that people would hawk away very quickly, because they're not shiny, they're not opalescent, they're not iridescent. So, but I don't know, maybe if one would grind them or cut them and then grind it, and then you can see the inside. So there could be some places inside of those rocks that would actually be very iridescent and shiny in many different colors, like rainbow colors, and very, very extraterrestrial looking, really amazing. But I can tell by the touch that those are opals, and they're actually petrified tree roots, wood pieces that I found out there. No, the other people would, when they see pieces like this partly sticking out of the ground, they don't pay any attention because they're dark gray, grayish brown, and they look like every other rock. But Psychic Nicola knows. I dug them up. I had the Papa dog with me at that time. And yeah, that was the same vacation that we saw. I think we saw Mr. Beast. That young kiddo. The young kiddo with his kayak. And his big, huge motorhome. And then his friends complained and they said, why do we have to stay here any longer at this boring place? They're over there by Bog Hot Springs. I didn't think that was boring at all. But for young beast like teenage or barely 18 or 18-year-old boys, now that could be considered boring out there. So, but not for Grandma Nikki. So I really loved it. I could have stayed there for a long, long time. It was amazing. Bathing naked in the hot spring river was amazing. So luckily they didn't kayak past me while I was bathing in there. That would have made a very heavy collision. A fat collision would that have been, yes. So I'm glad that didn't happen. Oh my goodness. They can bruise me all up with that kayak. But yeah, that was that trip when they went to Area 51 also. I think it was them, I'm pretty sure. Because there was this one hunter guy and he was like, like over the moon excited. Saying, there's this guy, the real famous guy. I gotta go over there. It's like, okay, you can go over to the famous guy while I take my Papa dog for a peaceful walk through the beautiful, beautiful Antelope Desert. Peaceful sunset, going into the hot springs. It's like two worlds meeting there at this one parking area. Two worlds. One brain views it in a completely different way, and the other brains view it in a completely different way again. The other brains are like, what action can we make today? How much action can we fit into one day? I'm not making fun of them. That's just how they function. That's how they work. That's how they are. But my brain is like, no. I am not interested in action. Not at all. I just watched a very disturbing video of paparazzi surrounding Greta Thunberg on the streets in Davos, Switzerland. She was going to give a presentation there on climate change, and these paparazzis would not leave her alone. Old man, this one old guy, this is not journalism, okay? This is straight out paparazzi harassment. That's what that is, okay? Oh, when I see this, I don't even know whether I should get mad or laugh or or ask Elon Musk to send some robots over to protect this young, beautiful woman, compassionate, God-level soul who wants to make the world a better place. But no, the paparazzis are going there. How many times did you rehearse that arrest? Rehearse with the police officers, right? No, it was not rehearsed. The police officers in Switzerland, they're paid by the corporate agenda to arrest her, okay? And some of them didn't even feel comfortable with that situation. And some of them, I could see it in their faces, some of them felt very comfortable with Greta in their vice grip. So, yeah, little bit too comfortable. This cute little Barbie doll. So, I mean, which police officer would not want to hold her, around the waist, the arms, the legs? So, of course. No, I see all of this. That doesn't escape my eagle eyes, my grandmother, psychic, trailer park intuition. I see all of that. Now, she's a cutesy pootsy, and compassionate and great work. Like, her whole life is dedicated to this work. So, I mean, like the questions, they didn't even ask her intelligent questions on the streets, those paparazzis. I don't even think they have intelligent questions for her. They don't even know intelligent questions to ask. They're probably just hired by the corporate agenda to harass this girl and not leave her alone for a second. Like, tense, almost like a gang rape invasion or something. That's what it looked like. I felt scared for her. At least there was one woman holding a microphone and I think a camera also. So, and that woman had a little bit of an uneasy facial expression because she saw what was happening there with all these guys that were harassing Greta. I mean, it's just like, they should all go to prison for that, for harassing Greta like that. I mean, those assholes. Incredible. The police should arrest those and not Greta. Okay, so, my goodness sakes. Everything in the world is so reversed and upside down. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. A Swedish girl, a German girl, Scandinavian girls, or if they're activists for animals and the earth, they're the ones that go to prison. And the gang rapers that are harassing them non-stop, they don't go to prison. Okay, so murderers, that are the murderers that tortured the German girl in Afghanistan, tortured her to death. They're not going to prison. Nothing is happening to them. Swedish girls that are constantly raped by Middle Eastern refugees. These refugees, they don't go to prison. Maybe the girl will go to prison for going to the police. That because then she could be labeled racist for complaining that she's been raped by this person. So, It's like being raped by a refugee. You're supposed to like not say anything, right? Like, how far are gonna people put up with this? How far does it have to escalate until people finally stand up against this? I see some people standing up against shit on Twitter, but most of those that stand up against the BS from the left are for some BS from the right. So it's like people are either extreme right or extreme left. They're either fundamentalists or they are woke. It's like, bro, you have a brain there, right? Why don't you use that brain? Why don't you utilize your brain power and think for yourselves? That's a new concept, really. That's a new concept for most people, because most people, they can only think in terms of my community, what I identify myself with, fundamentalism or wokeism or whatever, gay community or family values. It's all BS in my personal perspective. Okay, all of this, every single thing needs to be put into the trash dumpster. All of that. It's all bullshit. All of it. Okay, so that Kiwi Farms hate group, probably in New Zealand, what Paul told me, all of that needs to be thrown into a trash dumpster. Okay, violence needs to be thrown into a trash dumpster. Violent people need to be trashed. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm not a Buddha. I'm not on board with all of those people that say, oh, everything's beyond good and evil. Yes, I agree with you, okay? But there are people that will call me evil, okay? Of course, for standing up for do-gooders. They call me evil for that. So no, if we don't stand up for do-gooders, if we say, oh, everything is beyond good and evil, and we can't really judge people, ultimately we can't. Ultimately, from the sky perspective, as I do with my clay figure alien spaceships, from the computer sky perspective, I can say this is the playing field, here are the players. I don't judge them, I don't judge Danny, I don't judge this or that person, an alien or whatever. Whoever is on that playing field, Nikki Daisy, the horse, the meat flower, the scream, whoever is there, Pat, Donald Trump, all of these different figures, right? And yeah, some of them, they're all actors. My figures are all blue gods. Okay, so my figures are not like voodoo or something, like where this somehow represents. No, they're not representing anything. They're only actors, and they know they're actors, and they're just playing for fun. They're playing a psychopath here and there. Okay, and just to demonstrate, okay, some kind of example, like with the witch hunt example, so that I did the other day. So no, from the sky perspective, we can say, okay, I see you, I see everyone, I see where they're at. I'm gonna try to make this brighter, a little bit brighter. I don't know if this is gonna get brighter. So I'm trying to make this a little bit brighter. So sun is going down behind the horizon, but the sun is not in actuality. The sun is not going down or sinking into the Pacific Ocean. No, we already all know that, but I wanted to add that still, because I don't want kids to think the sun is going into the ocean. No, definitely not. The sun is our center of this particular solar system. The sun does rotate, but only around its own axis. But the earth rotates around the sun, together with all the other moons and planets and Mars and Venus. All of us are rotating around the sun. And that is still not the center of the infinite cosmos, because then there are other suns, and there's other matter that rotates centrifugally around their suns, and it keeps on going and going and going and going, and there is no center anywhere in actuality. So in the infinite cosmos, there is no center. There is no place that you can call center and you say, this is now the throne of the blue god or something. That's what the Christians and the Muslims and the Jewish Orthodox religious people, or any, I would say almost all religious, except for the Buddhists, because they're pretty good sticking to the original teachings from Gautama Buddha, that there is no center, okay? But then they always have this tendency to make their lives into a center and all of that kind of stuff, because that's the human mind wants to do that. The human ego wants to do that. But there's no center and there's no beginning, there's no end. It just expands out into all directions at all times, indefinitely, infinitely. It just is. It is. We don't even need to think about it. There's no need to create mathematical infinity calculations around it. So with infinite amount of motels, which Dr. Georg Cantor from Austria has done, and that made him crazy, and he should not have done that. That's not. You don't need to make yourself crazy. Just accept it, And then his community didn't make it better for him. They harassed him because religious people, they don't like that concept of infinity. It's scary to them. That eludes a center. But religious thinking is all about center, of course. So, and that's the ego. Religious thinking is ego. We need to become very, very crystal clear on this. So that's what it is. But before you think, you're not part of that. Wait a minute. You too are thinking in terms of center, because you're thinking in terms of social hierarchy. You're thinking in terms of you being socially on a higher ladder, plateau. That's what you want to think, with your custom-made couturier clothes from England. I'm just talking to the whole world here, the whole world of hierarchy, snob type of thinking, arrogant, on a pedestal. So it's all the same thing. It's just, the Christians are just as arrogant as you are, and you are just as arrogant as the Christians. The Muslims are even more arrogant. And so I don't know very many, I don't know, Orthodox Jewish people, can't really judge for that, but that's the Abrahamic religion. So, and what I heard is that they have cruelty in their communal practices, and I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, but it's just gruesome, okay? And it doesn't matter whether cruelty is done in the name of religion or for whatever reason, okay? It's wrong. It's simply wrong, and it needs to be outlawed, and we need Elon Musk's army of robots to round all of these violent people up. Okay. Peace and love. That is my conclusion for today. And this is beyond good and evil.